lifting its travel ban. Will Canada follow suit and lift the travel ban on the 10 countries in Africa that we have banned?
Look, as we promised Canadians, we will adjust our border measures as we learn more. We are constantly reviewing the data from Omicron and discussing what next to do. So I just want to recommend, I'm out of breath.
Sorry.
I just want to advise Canadians to get vaccinated, to follow public health, and to check travel advisory, which could change it any day.
Why hasn't Canada changed its rules, though? If we see the UK lifting these measures, we see Omicron transmission in the community in Canada, in the United States, in many countries in Europe. So why are these countries still on the list?
Every country makes its own decision based on the information that it has. As I said, Canada is constantly assessing, and stay tuned as discussions are unfolding. We could change at any moment, but for now, we're just assessing all the information that we have.
But as it stands, it's still in place until January 31st?
As it stands, yes.
Okay,
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Minister, you said in the House you're advising against travel. Are you referring to domestic travel or international travel or both?
We had a cabinet meeting this morning, and much of our discussion was around the new Omicron variant. And we are very concerned about those that would be traveling abroad at this particular time. What we're seeing is an incredibly rapidly spreading variant, and we are worried about Canadians that might end up either stranded or sick abroad. And that would be obviously a terrible thing for them to happen. And this is our top of our mind, and the Prime Minister is going to discuss this issue and other COVID-19 related issues with his colleagues, the premiers, very soon.
That's tonight, right? The meeting's tonight?
The meeting is going to be extremely soon. I don't know exactly the timing, but it will happen quickly. Donc, écoutez, on a eu une rencontre du cabinet ce matin, comme on a souvent le mardi, et une bonne partie de notre discussion a porté sur le nouveau variant Omicron. Et on s'inquiète beaucoup de ce qui pourrait arriver aux Canadiens s'ils choisissaient d'aller à l'étranger présentement. Le variant se déploie très rapidement et notre inquiétude, c'est que les Canadiens soient coincés à l'étranger en raison des mesures rapidement changeantes que les autres pays pourraient mettre en place, mais aussi en raison du risque important qu'il pourrait y avoir d'attraper ce variant, ce virus là, lors d'un voyage à l'étranger. Et si c'est le cas, bien les choses pourraient être très compliquées pour ces Canadiens à l'extérieur du pays.
Can you clarify what the meeting is about? Is the question whether or not to start advising against non-essential travel abroad? You're tying the Premier's meeting to my question about travel, so how are they connected?
They'll be considering, obviously, the rapidly emerging information on the transmissibility of the variant, what it implies abroad, but also what it implies within Canada. We know that we have measures that we can use against COVID-19, but also against Omicron. So these measures are effective and will keep being effective. Public health measures, social, physical distancing, obviously isolation, vaccination, boosters. Those are obviously extremely important things that people must do, and that's part of the conversation between the Prime Minister and Premiers.
Does it make sense to continue with controls or even limitations on people coming in, passengers coming into Canada, given that Omicron is already here?
We need to do both. We need to protect the health and safety of Canadians, both from the obvious challenges posed by traveling, international travels, and also through increasingly obvious signs of community transmission here in Canada.
Why is
Last question.
Still in place? The UK, to Tom's question, the UK lifted the ban on African countries. Why is Canada's ban still in place on this country?
So as I said, we are considering all options and all actions, and that requires a conversation between the premiers and the Prime Minister. Is going to have that conversation very soon.
And so should we
Thank
expect
you.
an announcement later tonight?
More and more provinces starting to enact just public access to rapid tests, whether they're symptomatic or not. What can you tell us about plans for procurement going forward?
So the good news on rapid tests are that we've procured over 145 million rapid tests. Most of those tests have been delivered to provinces and territories, and I think it's really important to get the message out that we start using those rapid tests. It's another tool in the toolbox, but the procurement has been very strong on that. We've been very generous with provinces and territories.
Looking at Canada's dashboard right now, it looks like we've got about 99 million tests delivered as of December 3rd. When can we expect to see the remaining 45 million coming in this current order?
Listen, we're working with provinces and territories on a regular basis. We want to get those tests to them as soon as we get them, and communicating with them in order that they get timely delivery. So we expect those imminently to be delivered.
And previously, Dr. Bonnie Henry out in BC has been critical of the procurement process, saying too many tests are being ordered that just your average person can't administer by themselves. You need a nurse to help them out with it. Is just going forward, as we're seeing more provinces starting to implement just general access to rapid testing, is Canada going to be prioritizing tests that just your average day person can administer by themselves?
I think really this is where the communication with provinces and territories is so important. And so for us, regularly communicating to say, what are the resources that you need? You've heard many times our government say 8 out of every $10 has been paid by the federal government to support provinces and territories. And I'm really happy that when requests are made, we are responding by delivering the requests that they are asking for, because we don't want to get into, okay, who's responsible? Really, we want to support in every way we can. So we're going to continue doing that.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Minister.
Thanks.
Any thoughts on the provinces now starting to roll out more rapid tests for general public and the federal government's procurement measures?
Certainly, I've been fighting for rapid tests for well over a year now. Anything that we can do to provide tools to the public, to healthcare providers, to stop the spread, particularly in the face of this new variant, I think is really important. And, I just encourage Canadians who perhaps haven't been vaccinated to get vaccinated, and those who are eligible for their boosters to do so as well.
I've been hearing any issues on your end on the procurement side. We know, Bonnie Henry out in BC has flagged that, most of the rapid tests they are receiving aren't the ones people can just administer themselves. Have you been hearing anything similar on that front?
Look, I think that the more tools that are in Canadians' hands to be able to fight the spread of this variant, particularly around Christmas time when people are going to be gathering, I think it's really important for people to have those tools. So anything that can be done to aid provinces in the distribution of those types of things like rapid tests, and certainly looking at boosters as we move forward, that's something the federal government should be focused on, and we will continue to support those efforts. Thank you.
Minister Bibeau, any update you can give us on when we may be able to start seeing PEI potato exports to the States again?
We're working extremely hard on that. We're having a weekly, if not daily, conversation with our counterparts at CFIA on scientific ground, but also on trade ground. They have provided us a list of information they want. So this is what we are on right now. We want to reassure the Americans that they can have our fresh potatoes as safely as we used to.
What kind of information are they asking for, and when do you anticipate being able to get them the information?
I'm sorry, I missed your question.
Oh, sorry. What kind of information are the Americans asking for, and when do you anticipate being able to get them that information so they can review it and decide whether or not our potatoes meet their standards?
It's an ongoing work. So CFI is gathering all the information and sharing it on, I would say, a weekly basis with their counterparts. It's hard to put a date. The list of information they are asking for is serious, it's long, but it's a top priority for all of us.
Perfect. Thank you, Minister. Minister Champagne, we're seeing more and more countries making decisions on Huawei. When will Canada make our decision on Huawei tech?
Well, the Prime Minister has been pretty clear with Canadians on that it was a matter of weeks. When it comes to a decision which is going to be so consequential for future generations, Canadians would understand. We want to make sure we take the right decision. The telecom infrastructure for 5G in particular will be with us for decades to come. So national security comes first. That's what we're doing now, and we'll come back to Canadians in due course.
Will a decision come before or after the Olympics?
I would say the Prime Minister made clear it's a matter of weeks that we're looking to come to a conclusion on that. We're working with our intelligence agency. And I think Canadians understand it's a matter of national security. It's not linked to any other event. It's really making sure we do the right decision for Canadians for generations to come. Merci, à tantôt.
Thank you, sir.